Good morning, class. Today I'm going to recite a poem by William Wordsworth. It's called Lines Written in Early Spring. This is chapter 13, and open your books at page number 83. So we have the poem right in front of us. Let's begin. Now, lines written in early spring. I heard 1,000 blended notes, while in a grove I sat reclined. In that sweet mood when pleasant thoughts bring sad thoughts to the mind. To her fair works did nature link the human soul that through me ran, and much it grieved my heart to think what man has made of man. Through primrose tufts in that sweet bower, the periwinkle trailed its wreaths, and 'tis my fate that every flower enjoys the air it breathes. The birds around me hopped and played, their thoughts I cannot measure, but the least motion which they made, it seemed a thrill of pleasure. The budding twigs spread out their fan to catch the breezy air, and I must think, do all I can, that there was pleasure there. If this belief from heaven be sent, if such be nature's holy plan, have I not reason to lament what man has made of man? So this is the poem by William Wordsworth. So the two main poetic devices which are used here are personification and refrain. Now what is personification? Personification is a figure of speech where an immaterial object is given human character, or has been given human characteristics. For example, nature. For nature, the poet has used the words, to her fair works did nature link. Her fair works did nature link. So this is personification. And many times in the poem, at least two times, in the second paragraph and in the last paragraph, he has used the same line, what man has made of man. The same question has been asked. This is called refrain. So generally it is done in the last stanza, in the last line of the stanza, and this is mainly to make everyone, wonder as to why, when nature wants everybody to live in harmony, why is it that man is an enemy of another man? Okay, why there is so much of hatred among the humankind? Why can't they live in harmony? So let's begin with the first stanza. I'll be explaining all the lines. So I heard 1,000 blended notes, while in a grove I sat reclined. In that sweet mood when pleasant thoughts bring sad thoughts to the mind. So here the poet says that while he was sitting in a grove means in a region where there's a group of trees, or a grove could also mean a small forest, it could also mean a woodland. So while he was sitting, he sat reclined. And how was he sitting? He was sitting in a relaxed position with a back support. Okay, so that is called reclining. And you can see this picture here, where this person is sitting and he's taking support of the tree trunk. So he's reclining here. This is the reclined position. So while he was sitting in a grove, while he was sitting in a woodland, what did he hear? He heard 1,000 blended notes. Okay, now here notes refer to the bird songs. He heard the cry of many birds. And the bird songs, there seem to be quite a number of birds there. And the song of all the birds seem to come together and form one melodious song. Okay, so in that sweet mood when pleasant thoughts. So this made the poet very happy, and he was in a very sweet mood, in a very happy mood, and there were pleasant thoughts coming into his mind. And what did these pleasant thoughts do? Along with these pleasant thoughts, he had some sad thoughts. Okay, they were accompanied by some sad thoughts. Okay, or we can say that he enjoyed the scene, and this inspired a melancholy mood, and the speaker began to have dark thoughts about humanity. To her fair fireworks did nature link, the human soul that through me ran. So here the speaker says that the speaker thought that nature had done an excellent job of creating the various creatures in the world. And his own soul, the human soul that through me ran. So it was nature's creation. The human soul is also the nature's creation, his own soul. And his own soul was one of nature's creation. As he sat there in the lap of nature, the speaker felt as if his soul was linked to nature and her creations. To her fair works did nature link, the human soul that through me ran. So there was a link between him and the other creations made by nature. As he sat there in the lap of nature, the speaker felt as if his soul was linked to nature and her creations. It was this link, and much it grieved my heart to think what man has made of man. And it was this link that caused him to feel great sorrow. He was thinking of how man has harmed other men, what man has made of man, how man has harmed other men. The speaker was referring to the way in which man has made lives of other human beings very uncomfortable. And this is with reference to French Revolution. At this time when the poem was, when this poem has been written, it was the French Revolution that was taking place. So the background or the inspiration behind the poem is the French Revolution. Coming to the third stanza. Through primrose tufts in that sweet bower, the periwinkle trailed its wreaths, and 'tis my fate that every flower enjoys the air it breathes. So here the poet says, the poet observes the way the plants grow in that grove. He noticed that there were primroses growing in bunches. Primrose tufts. Tufts refer to bunch of grass. Okay, but here primrose tufts means bunches of primrose. So primrose is a kind of yellow colored, primrose is a plant with yellow colored flowers. And the word bars refers to a pleasant shady place under a tree or climber. Okay, so he saw these primrose growing in bunches, and through these bunches ran the periwinkle creeper. Okay, so periwinkle is again a plant and it has bluish violet colored flowers, bluish purple flowers. Okay, so the periwinkle trailed its wreaths. So trailed its wreaths actually means the wreaths of flowers that grew along the ground. And but the word wreaths actually means an arrangement of flowers where the flowers are fastened to a ring, and generally a wreath is placed over a dead body, to pay homage to somebody who's died. Okay, so here the periwinkle trailed its wreaths. Here what he means by this, he means that through these, through the bunches of primrose ran the periwinkle creeper. And looking at these flowers which were growing together, and 'tis my fate that every flower enjoys the air it breathes. And looking at these flowers which were growing together, the speaker came to this conclusion that all the flowers were happy and they enjoyed the simple pleasures of life, like appreciating the air they breathed. Enjoys the air it breathes. That means each and every flower seemed to be happy and it seemed to be enjoying the air that it breathed. So very simple things in life give you pleasure. Then the birds around me hopped and played. Their thoughts I cannot measure, but the least motion which they made, it seemed a thrill of pleasure. So in the grove, the speaker also noticed how the birds hopped in the grove, how they jumped and skipped and played, and their thoughts I cannot measure. He admitted that he could not read their minds or knew what they were thinking, but he was able to read the way in which they moved. He observed that every single movement made by them was an expression of their happiness. The happiness was caused by their life, the circumstances they lived in. So this is, here he says, it seemed a thrill of pleasure. So that little movement they made and the way they hopped, the way they skipped, it seemed that this was an expression of happiness. The budding twigs spread out their fan to catch the breezy air. So budding twigs here refers to the new shoots. They seem to spread out like a fan to catch the breezy air, to enjoy the wind, to enjoy the breezy air, to enjoy the wind. And I must think, do all I can, that there was pleasure there. So the very sight of these branches made the speaker conclude that there was great happiness and joy in the grove. If this belief from heaven be sent, if such be nature's holy plan, have I not reason to lament what man has made of man? He looked at the way the plants and the birds were so much in harmony with each other. He realized that nature wanted people to live a peaceful life, full of happiness. This thought made him feel that he had every reason to weep over the way in which man lived, making each other unhappy and uncomfortable. So he realized that when nature wanted everyone to live peacefully and in harmony, then why is it that man is making other people's life, other men's life uncomfortable? Why can't he live in harmony with other people, with other men? So this is what the poet wants to convey through his poem. Thank you.